Hey, Cowboys Nation, this is Cowboys Wire News, your home for breaking news, smart analysis, rumors, and film room insights. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a snap. Let's talk America's team. Rumors are swirling and the NFL world is buzzing with speculation as CeeDee Lamb finally breaks his silence, making statements that could shake the very foundations of the Dallas Cowboys organization. Sources close to the team hint that tensions have been rising behind the scenes for months. But few expected Lamb, one of the most promising wide receivers in the league, to speak out so openly, according to insiders. His comments suggest that there is a growing sense of frustration among players who feel that management decisions are undermining their potential. The Cowboys have been a team with high expectations, constantly in the spotlight, yet recent seasons have left fans questioning leadership choices. Lamb's words, though not detailed, carry the weight of someone who has witnessed internal conflicts that may never be fully disclosed to the public. The mere fact that a star player is willing to go on record indicates that the unrest could be deeper than any analyst or commentator has predicted. Conversations in locker rooms and private meetings allegedly point to disagreements over strategy, coaching philosophy, and perhaps even personnel decisions that might be eroding trust between players and executives. The reaction to Lamb's comments has been immediate, with social media exploding as fans, former players, and analysts dissect every word. Some suggest that this is the tipping point for a franchise that has always prided itself on its image as America's team, yet struggles to balance talent and management effectively. Inside sources reportedly indicate that other players are quietly echoing similar concerns, but are hesitant to speak out publicly for fear of repercussions. Analysts are already speculating whether these remarks could lead to a shift in the locker room hierarchy, with veterans feeling pressured to take sides or defend the organization, while younger players may align with Lamb's growing voice. The Cowboys have always had a culture of high expectations mixed with intense media scrutiny, and any suggestion of internal sabotage or mismanagement immediately becomes headline news. Experts argue that if these rumors hold truth, the organization might need to reconsider its leadership approach, because unresolved tension at the top inevitably trickles down to the field. This scenario paints a picture of a team caught between talent, ego, and organizational instability. And Lamb's statements may be just the surface of a much larger story. Fans of the Cowboys are divided, with some expressing outrage on social media, defending the franchise, while others rally behind Lamb, praising his courage for speaking truth to power. Historically, the Cowboys have experienced cycles of internal controversy, yet rarely has a player of Lamb's stature dared to publicly critique the organization in such a direct manner. Commentators speculate that this could have significant implications for the team's future, from free agency decisions to draft strategy, because internal morale is often as crucial as athletic performance behind closed doors. Sources suggest there are heated debates regarding the team's offensive schemes, coaching adjustments, and whether the current leadership is capable of fostering a winning environment. Lamb's critique might be interpreted as a wake-up call for executives, an alert that without addressing these issues, the team could struggle to maintain cohesion and performance levels. Conversations within the league hint that rival teams are paying attention, as internal discord can influence competitive dynamics, player motivation, and even trade negotiations. If the Cowboys do not respond to these warnings effectively, speculation continues. The fallout could reverberate across the NFL landscape in ways few have anticipated, adding to the speculation. Insiders hint at possible rifts between coaching staff and front office executives, which may be exacerbating the sense of instability highlighted by Lamb. The optics of a star player calling out perceived dysfunction could lead to long-term consequences, including a shift in team culture and leadership accountability. Some argue that Lamb's remarks may encourage other players to speak more openly, potentially uncovering deeper issues related to team strategy, player usage, or even contract negotiations. The tension appears not to be limited to on-field decisions, but extends into areas like communication, respect, and trust between players and management. Rumors also suggest that some veterans may feel their roles are being diminished unfairly, contributing to a collective sense of frustration that Lamb has now publicly articulated. Analysts speculate that this could impact not only morale but also retention, with free agents or potential signings reconsidering their interest in joining a team perceived to be unstable. Behind the scenes, internal meetings reportedly have become more intense, with discussions about accountability and leadership decisions growing heated as the organization attempts to respond to Lamb's public statements. Another layer to this speculation involves the timing of Lamb's statements, which coincide with ongoing discussions about team structure and strategy for the upcoming seasons. Some observers suggest that this is a calculated move by Lamb to exert influence, signaling to the organization that change is necessary before talent is wasted. Internal sources hint that the player has become increasingly frustrated with decisions that he believes undermine team success, including questionable play calling and management approaches that may not align with player strengths. This scenario feeds into a broader narrative of star players taking active roles in shaping team culture, challenging conventional hierarchies, and demanding accountability from leadership. The Cowboys management is reportedly aware of the growing public interest and the potential media storm, which may force them to make strategic moves to protect both team performance and reputation. Rumors indicate that discussions are ongoing regarding how to address player concerns while maintaining authority and cohesion. Yet the balance remains delicate. The league is watching closely, as high-profile statements like Lamb's often have ripple effects that influence team perception, player confidence, and even sponsorship and fan engagement. Finally, speculation continues regarding the potential long-term implications of Lamb's revelations for the Cowboys' trajectory. Analysts suggest that if internal dysfunction is not addressed, the team could face challenges in maintaining competitive consistency, attracting top talent, and retaining star players. The whispers of discontent, amplified by Lamb's public statement, raise questions about the alignment between management objectives and player priorities, which could shape decision-making for years to come. Fans, meanwhile, are eagerly dissecting every nuance of his comments, attempting to read between the lines and anticipate possible outcomes. Whether this is a turning point that will lead to constructive change or the beginning of more public scrutiny is unclear. Yet the impact of a high-profile player breaking his silence cannot be understated. The NFL community is left to speculate, debate, and anticipate what moves the Cowboys will make in response to these unprecedented remarks. As Lamb continues to voice his concerns, the narrative around the team is shifting, drawing attention to internal dynamics that may have long been simmering beneath the surface, awaiting exposure. If the speculation proves accurate, the ramifications for the Cowboys could be significant, potentially influencing everything from draft picks to coaching strategies in ways that the public has yet to see. Sources indicate that internal discussions are not only tense but highly strategic, as executives consider how to respond without undermining authority while addressing the concerns raised by Lamb. Rumors hint that the star player may be seeking more influence over offensive schemes, player rotations, or broader team culture decisions, signaling a potential shift in power dynamics that could ripple throughout the locker room. Analysts suggest that such shifts, if mishandled, could exacerbate existing tensions, potentially creating factions within the team that would further complicate cohesion and performance. Observers also note that the timing of Lamb's remarks could be significant, possibly coinciding with contract negotiations or upcoming roster decisions, which would increase pressure on management to act decisively. As speculation grows, league insiders are reportedly monitoring the situation closely, as these developments could serve as case studies for player empowerment, organizational accountability, and the evolving relationship between star athletes and team leadership in the modern NFL. Fans are reacting in real time, debating whether Lamb's statements are justified or whether they represent an overreach by a single player attempting to influence organizational strategy. Social media activity suggests a polarization, with some praising his courage and others questioning loyalty, reflecting the broader debate about player voices in professional sports. Rumors also suggest that coaches and front office staff may be reassessing communication strategies, aiming to better align management decisions with player expectations, while maintaining authority over operational control. The speculation extends to how these internal dynamics could affect performance, as analysts argue that unresolved tensions often manifest on the field, impacting execution, teamwork, and morale. Additionally, there is chatter that rival teams are taking notice, considering the potential leverage they could gain if key players express dissatisfaction with leadership. This heightened scrutiny may create pressure points that the Cowboys will have to navigate carefully, balancing transparency, discipline, and team cohesion to prevent further destabilization. Insiders hint that Lamb's remarks may open doors for other players to speak out, either supporting his perspective or presenting alternative viewpoints, creating a complex web of narratives that the public has never fully witnessed in such a high-profile organization. Analysts argue that this could either catalyze meaningful reform within the Cowboys structure or intensify internal conflict if not managed carefully. The speculation includes potential shifts in coaching philosophy, leadership roles, and strategic decision-making, all influenced by the rising voice of a star player who is not afraid to challenge established norms. Rumors suggest that veteran players may feel pressured to either support management or align with Lamb's growing influence, potentially reshaping locker room alliances and hierarchies. Furthermore, some believe that the public nature of these statements may affect the team's marketability, fan engagement, and reputation, adding another layer of complexity to an already tense situation. The NFL community is closely monitoring every development, knowing that internal instability in a high-profile team rarely remains private for long. Additional speculation centers on the long-term effects on recruitment, as top talent might reconsider joining a team perceived to be in turmoil, despite the presence of standout players like Lamb. Analysts suggest that the organization may need to take unprecedented steps to reassure current and prospective players that leadership is capable of maintaining a winning culture. Rumors indicate that discussions are ongoing regarding leadership restructuring, strategic adjustments, and communication reforms, all aimed at addressing the root causes of player frustration. Observers argue that failure to act decisively could result in talent attrition, diminished performance, and heightened media scrutiny, while successfully addressing concerns could strengthen the team, reinforcing loyalty and cohesion. The spotlight on the Cowboys intensifies as speculation grows, highlighting the delicate balance between star player influence, organizational authority, and team performance in the modern NFL landscape. Lamb's statements, whether seen as a warning, a plea, or a call to action, are clearly reshaping the narrative around one of the league's most scrutinized franchises. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News. Drop a like and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. Moreover, the speculation includes potential repercussions for the coaching staff, as Lamb's critique may be interpreted as a direct challenge to strategic and tactical decisions made on the field. Analysts suggest that if the team does not respond effectively, the discord could lead to fragmented leadership, strained relationships, and compromised game-day execution. Rumors hint at ongoing evaluations of coaching methods, with some insiders suggesting that management may need to realign responsibilities or make adjustments to preserve credibility and player trust. The narrative surrounding Lamb's statements highlights the evolving role of star athletes in organizational decision-making, emphasizing the need for communication, accountability, and respect between players and leadership. Observers note that this situation could set a precedent for how similar issues are addressed across the league, influencing the power dynamics between players and management in the years to come. Fans and analysts alike continue to speculate on how this internal drama will unfold, with each revelation potentially reshaping perceptions and expectations. The dialogue surrounding Lamb's statements has reportedly intensified within executive circles, with discussions focused on damage control, public relations strategy, and internal reconciliation. Rumors indicate that high-level meetings are considering ways to engage players constructively while maintaining authority and operational control, a delicate balancing act given the high stakes involved. Analysts suggest that these internal debates may influence key decisions, from game strategy to personnel management, as the organization seeks to navigate public scrutiny while addressing legitimate concerns. The speculation also extends to potential changes in team culture, with Lamb's growing influence prompting consideration of more collaborative leadership models, player input in decision-making, and communication reforms. As the NFL world watches closely, every statement, leak, or hint from within the organization is amplified, further fueling speculation and anticipation about the Cowboys' next moves. The narrative remains fluid, with no clear resolution in sight, leaving fans and insiders alike to debate, anticipate, and speculate endlessly. Finally, as this situation develops, the long-term implications of Lamb's public critique may redefine both the team and the league's approach to player engagement, leadership accountability, and organizational transparency. Speculation suggests that if managed correctly, the Cowboys could emerge stronger, with renewed trust, clearer communication, and a more cohesive culture. Conversely, if mishandled, The fallout could lead to internal fragmentation, diminished performance, and increased scrutiny from fans, media, and rivals alike. The NFL community remains captivated, analyzing every move, statement, and rumor to predict the potential trajectory of one of the league's most iconic franchises. Lamb's voice has added a new layer of complexity to the conversation, signaling that even star players are willing to confront issues publicly. In pursuit of organizational improvement, the unfolding drama continues to captivate fans, analysts, and insiders. As speculation runs rampant, discussions intensify, and the narrative around the Dallas Cowboys evolves in real time, leaving no aspect of the team untouched by intrigue, curiosity, and the potential for transformative change. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.